We just wrapped up the latest edition of our webinar masterclass series, and today we had a deep dive into that of stop guessing and start growing. Specifically, we're talking about budgets, like what should you be budgeting in for marketing as we close out 2025 and into 2026. And it was interesting, for those of you that have been on our webinars before, you know that I usually will have live anonymous Q&A polling. And it was interesting, these three questions that were asked today was like, where are you with your 2026 marketing budget? Where does the majority of your current marketing budget go? And do you have a documented plan for 2026? It was interesting, the responses of these. And I don't want to say they were surprising, but it was really intrigued by them. And I appreciate each of you that were on live. I appreciate you answering honestly. Because once again, we want to see how do we compare versus how others answer. Now, I'll give you just a little tease here. Because like, for example, the question, where does the majority of your budget go to? It's like, well, we don't have a budget, or is it Google Ads, or is it trade show, or it's all over the place, no clear focus, things in this regard. There are other responses as well. But over half answered all over the place, no clear focus, or we don't have a marketing budget yet. And if you'd like to know the answers to the other two questions, please watch the replay. We did, once again, a deep dive into things. The other thing is, at the end of the webinar, provided 4 tools. One is a budget allocation framework, also an ROI tracking dashboard, a 12-month marketing roadmap template, and then also a budget waste elimination checklist. So these are 4 free tools that are going to help you as you navigate marketing. One of the things that was very evident was that most of the security companies that were present live today, and I mean what I'm about to say with all due respect, because we all start somewhere, but that was the whole point of them being at today's session, and for you to watch this on demand, is they didn't have a clear direction in terms of what their budget should be, and then equally, if not more important, how should it be properly allocated. So I'd love to invite you to that. And in terms of, and with that said, I'd love to give two last things as we wrap up. Number one is I would love to give a big thanks to not only to our team that's helping me to produce this and to have these possible, but also to our 2 sponsors. A big, and I'm gonna put I feel like my daughter's gonna give me a hard time for not executing that heart with precision. But it's me giving my love and my appreciation to that of the great folks at Recognize and NAPCO for sponsoring today's webinar. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. We really appreciate both of you seeing the value in what we do in terms of helping to make this a better industry. Because the purpose and the goal of these webinars is to really bring awareness, and to not just from the overall strategy and to bring awareness, talk about the significance, but to share specific tactics as to how you help grow your business. And speaking of growing your business, if you do video surveillance and you have end user customers that have a perimeter, whereas the perimeter is important to them, or it's remote locations, Recognize as a group. If you've not heard of them, you've not reached out to them, please reach out to them today. And when it comes to NAPCO is one of the more prominent groups in our space. Been around since, I believe, 69. Whether you are a security company or a fire and life safety company, you can literally almost run your entire business on NAPCO. As you reach out to them, let them know that your good friends at SD Marketing and David sent you. I'd greatly appreciate that. The last thing I just want to share is we announced the next edition of our webinar series. And it's the part 2 to today's discussion, whereas today we went in a deep dive in terms of how much and where do we allocate it? I should rather say, today we talked about how much, and this next is like, where should we allocate it towards? So we're going to talk about the specific playbook in terms of what are the specific channels, and we're going to get really deep into this. What are the channels that you should be working on? So it's going to be one of the most important webinars of the entire year. Yeah, it does happen to be in December, but it's going to be one of the most important ones. That's going to take place on December 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is also 1 o'clock Eastern time. So once again, a big thank you to each of you that showed up and took time out of your day to watch live. Big thanks to my team. A big thanks to that of our sponsors, Recognize and that of NAPCO. And I look forward to seeing each and every single one of you. By the way, if you'll be at ISC East, I look forward to seeing you there. I'll also have Vince, who's our head of copy, with me as well. So I'd love to spend some time together. So until next time, make it a great day.